Favoritism. We're all a culprit of it. Whether it's buying your favorite coworker Starbucks every day, or you inviting your favorite relative to the annual Disneyland trip with your family, or even you sneaking out at 1 a.m. to attend to your favorite sneaky link, despite you having a very important final the next day. You all play into the practice of giving unfair preferential treatment to one person or group at the expense of another. The act of favoritism may seem invisible when you're partaking in it, but becomes incredibly visible in a workplace when your boss constantly is praising and promoting that bitch Karen that seemingly did less work than everyone, yet reaped the most benefits by simply kissing the boss's ass. Now, don't get me wrong, of course she probably worked hard, but her mouth definitely worked harder. So, hey, don't judge me. We all know which bitch I'm talking about. Regardless of whether or not she worked hard for the position she has, favoritism played a key role into the selection of who received a promotion and who didn't. You all know that one elderly person who has stuck with that company through thick and thin. From the literal Stone Age to the modern technologically advanced age we currently are in, they've been with that company from the very beginning, yet received no compensation for their hard work. Instead, the boss decides to promote the lady sitting at her desk, painting her nails, when there are plenty of other hardworking people that deserve that raise. A prime example of this was Margot Richardson, that filed the lawsuit against the Marietta, Georgia's Fire Department for gender discrimination and favoritism. Richardson goes on to explain how in certain instances where the favoritism is rooted in discrimination or harassment, it can cause so much discomfort and lead to literal illegal actions. Richardson explains how she was constantly being mocked, undermined, physically hit, and constantly dismissed when addressing the problems that arose from the favoritism displayed by ex-fire chief Jackie Gibbs. You sick motherfucker, look at you. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think anyone deserves to be physically hit, especially a hard-working individual that deserved the promotion, unlike some people. Now, favoritism does not have to be that extreme. Another person who suffers from favoritism can be due to a lack of inclusivity in out-of-work events or gatherings. Now, favoritism does not need to be that extreme. Another person who may suffer from favoritism can be due to a lack of inclusivity in out-of-work events and gatherings. Maybe you didn't get included to the annual holiday party the boss hosts every year, or you didn't go to the occasional fancy dinners. This form of favoritism can create a toxic environment for everyone around, as some people might feel at a disadvantage. This also creates tension for those who were excluded, as they might not feel close with their boss or coworkers. On the flip side, you can also be on the complete opposite side of favoritism. We all know that one person that seems to be constantly yelled at for anything they do. This is called a scapegoat. And is honestly due to being the target of others' anger and frustration. This can create a feeling of isolation and can often lead to a severe imbalance in power in the workplace. This silent torture people go through is a form of bullying and is often dismissed as they are seen as the weakest of the herd. An iconic example of this was Oscar Martinez in the hit TV show The Office. He was constantly being undermined and bullied for absolutely no reason and was on the receiving end of constant targeting and harassment. Additionally, there is also the type of favoritism that creates a sort of importance dynamic / structure within the workplace. Some voices are deemed as more prominent to be heard, while others constantly struggle to speak up and voice their opinions. This can lead such hard workers to feel like the Invisible Man from Hotel Transylvania. You know, the guy with like the glasses that like sometimes got out
under here.
Shit, my bad, Griffin. Favoritism is an incredibly toxic trait that occurs in most workplaces. We need to openly speak out against these unfair acts, even if it does benefit us. You never know what another person may be feeling on the receiving end, and it is very important to stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. You're forced into these workplaces for about 40 hours every week, so you might as well make it enjoyable for everyone.